Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here. I'm Genevieve Bordogna. I am the Associate Director for International Enrollment Management here at Slippery Rock University, and today is our first accepted International Student Day at Slippery Rock. So today's presentation is for both our students who have been offered admission and also students who have recently deposited. Today, we're congratulating you. You are one step away now from joining the Slippery Rock University community. So today what I'd like to do is talk to you a little bit about the actual new student checklist, the checklist of items that help you on that next journey to getting here to Slippery Rock. So accepting your offer for admission, if you've already accepted, what does that look like now that you're enrolled? What is the information that you'll be receiving once you're enrolled? Talking about housing, which is really important. You want to know where you're going to live. Are you going to like where you're going to live? And then I want you to hear from a few of our current students about their experience of going to school at Slippery Rock University and living in Slippery Rock, the town. And then we're going to leave some time open to answer some frequently asked questions about becoming an SRU student and things that you really want to know before you arrive here on campus. So the first part of this journey is talking about becoming an accepted student. So you have been offered admission, you may or may not have deposited. So let's start with talking about the acceptance for admission. We try to make this process as easy as possible. Now, our way of accepting admission has changed slightly depending on what communication or application system we're in. Currently, what you are receiving is an email with a link to an acceptance form. And on that acceptance form are some details that say, I will abide by these rules and regulations at the university, and by signing this document, I accept those rules and responsibilities that I have as a student. So you're signing off on that acceptance form. Secondly, we want you to confirm your major. So yes, you may have put a major in your actual application, but sometimes you change your mind. That's okay. We all change our mind. I started out as a student in zoology, and I ended up working with college students. So you don't always stay with the same thing. So in order to help us through the process of creating immigration documents, we need to know for sure when you deposit, is this still the same major you chose in the application that you want to continue to pursue when you first come to the university? So by confirming that on the major form, we'll say, okay, if the student changed that, then we'll go in and change that information. And then when we create your immigration document, we'll also update that information on the immigration document. But don't think that this is the only time you can change your major. Keep in mind, once you are an enrolled student and are here at Slippery Rock, you have the option to change the major at that time. And we can also change the immigration document again anytime you change your program. The last piece of accepting your admission is to make a non-refundable deposit. It's a $90 deposit. Most of our students will pay this deposit online through our TouchNet portal. You have two other options. You could send a check or a money order to the university. You could also use our wire transfer option with Peer Transfer. So what Peer Transfer does, it allows you to wire funds directly from your bank account or necessarily sometimes a credit card in your own currency, and then that gets directly deposited to the university's bank account. So to accept, we try to make that a very easy process for you. Complete the acceptance form, complete the major form, and pay your deposit. So now you've been officially enrolled at the university. What happens next? So now that we've confirmed your enrollment in our system, we're going to send some information to you in a packet. Those next steps are going to come to you in an email. They're going to talk about shipping the packet that has your enrollment letter, some cost information, and it's going to include, if you're entering the United States as an F1 or a J1 exchange student, the immigration document that goes with your visa status. So if you are an F1 student, you're going to receive what's called a Form I-20. If you are a J1 student, you're going to receive a form called a DS-2019. Now, these both are very important documents, and you cannot begin the process for the visa interview till you receive the information that's on those documents. So it's important that you pay attention to the emails that we're sending that go with this, because it's going to talk a little bit about the shipping methods for getting the packet. So we highly recommend that you choose to do eShip Global, which is an express shipping option. Some students will choose to do airmail, which is just regular mail, but there is no tracking process for that, and often airmail can be very unreliable. So when you get the email about the shipping, you'll see it'll talk a little bit about both airmail and eShip Global. eShip Global does have a cost, and so that cost would be your responsibility. If you are currently in the United States as either an F1 or a J1 student, we would be doing a SEVIS transfer. So that means the original immigration record that was created for you at your current university, or maybe you're still in high school, would get transferred to Slippery Rock. And at that point, we would create the new document, and then you would have that document. So let's see what happens next. Okay, well, we're welcoming you to the Rock. You're going to get an email with your Rock ID, so now you can start checking your Rock email, start looking at the SRU portal, and see all the options you have as a student here at Slippery Rock. And again, this is when you hear about those shipping methods and how you're going to get that enrollment packet. Then we're going to talk to you a little bit about housing. We'll send that information to you, and note that housing is a first come, first served basis. Then you'll hear from the Assistant Director for International Student Support Services. Her name is Nora Ali, and she will send you information about creating your first semester's class schedule. Along this same time, you're going to be doing a number of other steps, like paying the SEVIS fee that's associated with your SEVIS record if you've never entered the U.S. or never had a SEVIS record before. You'll begin applying for the visa. We'll also ask you to submit some health records. We'll give you some information about planning your travel to Slippery Rock University and then to the Office for Global Engagement. Also, you have the option to pre-order your linens before you arrive on campus. And also, finally, you'll be attending our International Student Orientation. So let's elaborate a little bit more about housing at the Rock. Now, all students have an on-campus residency policy, what means you all are required to live on campus, but there may be some exceptions. So the students who are required to live on campus are those who are new international student freshmen, so first-year students attending university, international students who may be transferring from non-U.S. schools. That means you're transferring from a university overseas to Slippery Rock and have never lived in the United States. If you already have a bachelor's degree and are coming as what we call a post-baccalaureate, if you are under the age of 21, you would be required to live on campus for that first year. All of our exchange students, all of our non-degree study abroad students, and our sponsored students are all required to live on campus for the duration of their program. Now, who would not be required to live on campus? These are our new graduate international students, degree-seeking undergraduate international students who are over the age of 21. You are welcome to live on campus, but by no means are you required to live on campus. The other students who may be considered waived would be transfer students from U.S. institutions. So if you are currently attending a U.S. university, you've already lived in the United States for a year or more, you are welcome to live on campus, but as a transfer student from a U.S. institution, you would not be required to live on campus. If you transfer in the spring semester, note that you would only then be required to live on campus for that semester because we go by academic year. So at the end of spring, you would then have the ability to then choose to move off campus. Only about 2,500 students live on campus. The university has a little under 9,000 students total, with 7,500 of those students being undergraduate. Now, housing does come at a price, and that's included in your total estimated cost. The cost that we have always estimated for our students is that traditional, most common room on campus, which is called the double studio. And that also includes the meal plan when you see that on your total estimated cost. Keep in mind that prices will vary for the rooms depending on the building type that you are in and the room type that you are assigned. So we have both traditional and residential buildings. So what's the difference between the two? Traditional halls are those where you share a room with one roommate or more potentially, but your bathroom is shared among all those that actually live on the same floor as you. If you are in one of the residential buildings, you would have your own bathroom in your room to share with your roommate or roommates, depending on how many bedrooms are in that suite. Now, remember, as I said, rooms are assigned on a first come, first served basis. So if you have not deposited yet, if you have not accepted your admission, keep in mind the longer you wait to accept, then the less likely you will receive the room preference that you have once you begin the housing process. So we always recommend, once you have been offered admission, to attempt to accept that offer as early as possible so that you can receive your most preferred room as well as your most preferred class schedule. You can see that living in the traditional halls is very inexpensive in comparison to your residential suites. However, the traditional residence halls, we only have 2 of those buildings, so they tend to fill up very quickly. Keep in mind, most American students are depositing very early and also attending their orientations, which occur here in April and then again in June. And so at that point, most of these students will have taken up the beds that would be in the traditional halls and begin filling those beds that are in the residential suites. For more information about the rates for our residence halls, I recommend going to our website. When you go to the university's website, you can see either at Life at SRU, you'll find housing that way, or while you're here in the presentation, you can also click on that link. Keep in mind, all prices are subject to change, and they do have to happen without notice. Typically, we see a change in price from academic year to the next academic year. So there may be a slight difference in the total cost once you're here in August. But the first bills will probably go out sometime in July, so you have a better idea then. One of my other recommendations for our students who are in the process of accepting the offer for admission, but also those who have already deposited. When you're at the International Admissions website, I'm sure you noticed to the right-hand side that there's a picture that says, "Start your virtual experience." I highly recommend that you all choose to do this. This is a virtual tour of our university. In this virtual tour, we have some options for you to actually get inside the dorms. You can see both our residential suites. This is an active link in the presentation, so you should be able to click on that and go to it next. Oh, sorry, we're in the dark. I need to move. Oh, there we go. Sorry. And then we also have a video for our traditional room. So you can watch these videos. It gives you a really good idea of what it would be like to live in the dorms, how some of our students have actually set up their rooms, and give you a really good feel for what it will be like to live on campus. Keep in mind, as a new international student who would be required to live on campus, you will have a roommate, but the roommate will not be another international student. It also, if you are an exchange student, will not be an exchange student from your institution if there are more than one of you coming from the same exchange university. So what we do is part of our process of helping you intentionally build relationships with other students is to have you live with an American student. It's very important to us that you have the most quintessential and typical American experience where you don't know the roommate. In most cases, even for our American students living with Americans, they don't know each other before they come here. And so to help you build these relationships with students, and many of these will last a lifetime, we will then pair you with an American roommate. But we also will pair you with what is called a global ambassador at the university. So we will help you build relationships through mentorship, through the Office for Global Engagement, but also through your housing experience. So I highly recommend, if you have not done it already, go to the International Admissions website and check out the virtual tour, where then inside you can see the residential suites and the traditional rooms. They're under Residence Life or North Hall. And then finally here, we're talking a little bit about eating. We all have to eat, right? Okay, so we've talked about housing. Okay, one of the essentials is making sure you have a roof over your head and you're safe and sheltered. And next is making sure we meet some of your other basic needs, and that includes food. So students who live on campus all are required to have a meal plan. You have lots of flexibility. You can customize your meal plan to meet your needs based on the number of meals you think you will eat a week. The standard plan is 15 meals. You can change this during the first week of class, and we recommend that you start going to some of your classes first, get an idea of where your classes are located, and then maybe you may want to have more flex dollars as opposed to meals. And flex dollars is kind of like a debit card on your student ID. So where they take flex dollars instead of swiping for a meal, that's where you would use that money. Sort of like I'm going to go to Starbucks here on campus and I want to buy a drink. You would use flex dollars for that and not a meal. In the main dining hall, which is called Boozle, that is where you will swipe for your meals during the week. The prices for the meal plans does vary. The current lowest meal plan is at $1,568, and the highest meal plan that is offered is at $1,964, and this is per semester. You do have 5 main dining locations on campus. You can go even further to personalize your meal plan options if you have special dietary needs. So if you are gluten intolerant, we do have a gluten intolerance line in the dining hall in Boozle. But if you have other special dietary needs that don't necessarily already have food on the menu for, what you can do is meet with our campus dietitian. The dietitian will then have a discussion with you as well as then with the chefs. They will then come together to start putting together a personalized meal plan just for you. Some of our other options for students in terms of personalized meals is sometimes students need to have meals outside of the normal hours. A good example for this would be during certain religious holidays or when maybe you're abstaining from eating. So during Ramadan, for example, if you're not able to eat during the normal hours, what they can do is provide you with box meals during the hours that you are able to eat. And so you would organize this with the dining hall, and then you would go pick up the food at the time that they would have it prepared for you so that you're still able to use your meal plan. We do recommend that you explore all of your dining options by visiting our website. Our food vendor is AVI, and AVI's logo is AVI Fresh. And you'll notice that on our campus that all the food is fresh. We also do a lot of locally sourcing for food. So instead of getting lots of foods shipped in from across the country, they do go to our local farms to get produce and meats and other things as well. So I highly recommend checking out the website for eating on campus. Now that takes us to step 5 through 10. Now remember I talked a little bit about once you've been enrolled, so you have your ROC ID, you have your email, you have some information now about the packet that we're going to send to you in the mail that will include either your I-20 or DS 2019. Now you're going to do these next steps. And here's where you have your homework. I'd like you, after this presentation, to go to our website for international admission, and you'll see there's a new student enrolled section or accepted student section. And in that is where you're going to find the checklist. Here I want you to review the information about how you pay the CVIS fee, how you apply for the visa, how you submit your health information, because this will be very imperative to you living here on campus. So you will need to go to a health history portal where you tell us a little bit about your health history. You may need to get some vaccinations before you leave home, or you may not, but this is going to help you plan all of those next steps. Then you're going to learn about what do I need to do to get to campus. So in terms of my travel plans, we want to know what those will be. Once you book your flights, what days do you plan on arriving, making sure you probably arrive on the 2 arrival days where we pick up for free from the airport. Maybe you want to pre-order your linens. Most of you are not going to fly over here with a sheet and blankets and a pillow in your suitcase, which we don't recommend. We will help provide some of that for you with a nice goodie basket of things, but you may also want to order some things before you arrive. But if you don't, no worries. We're going to take you shopping during orientation and help you get all the things that you need to get settled in and live here at Slippery Rock. And then finally, you can learn about attending the new International Student Orientation. New student orientation for international students happens the week before classes, and you arrive before even our American students are here on campus. We want to give you that time to get adjusted, because keep in mind, many of you are coming from different time zones across the world, and it does take your body a few days to adjust. So I want you to, at the end of this, visit this part of our website, go through the checklist, and then join us for a live chat session. So after this morning's presentation, we will have a live chat session from 9 till 10 a.m. where we can continue to answer your questions, but you can also email us. So for those who have been offered and deposited, please email at global.engagement@sru.edu. And remember, we have live chat sessions 3 times a week, on Tuesdays at 9 a.m., Wednesdays at 9 a.m., and Thursdays at 9 a.m. So now we're off to our last part of our presentation here this morning, and I'm going to be introducing you to one of our current international students, Menki Wang. Okay. Oh, I'll have you come a little closer and sit with me. So everybody, say hi.
Hello everyone, my name is Menki Wang. Nice to meet you. So I am the international student from China, and I'm a senior right now. My major is biology. Almost done.
Yay!
The first I came here, the reason is very simple. Just because my relatives live around here, and they recommend me Slippery Rock University is a very good university, and then I just came. And why I stayed here? Because Slippery Rock University is a very nice university. All professors, classmates you met are very nice. At the beginning, my English was very poor, and they still make friends with me. At first I feel not confident like right now, but they still accept me and making friends with me. And if you have any question and have any difficulties, they will, no matter what question you have, they will help you to figure out. And study here makes me to be the better person. I can identify myself, and I have the clear goal for my future. And now I get accepted for the grad school, so it's a better future.
You've already applied for grad school?
Yeah, and I got accepted for University of Pittsburgh.
Did you? Fantastic! See, all of these things happen even before you finish. Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. What program?
Biostatistics.
Biostatistics?
Yeah, master.
So Menki is going to be going off to the University of Pittsburgh when she finishes here at Slippery Rock. Remember, where we're located is just 1 hour north of the city of Pittsburgh, and there are a lot of universities there where students will continue for their graduate studies. Thank you, Menki.
Yeah.
We have another student with us here this morning I'm going to introduce you to before we have a more open conversation and answer lots of other questions. And so with me today is Akila Hughes.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Akila.
Okay, so I am a non-traditional student from the British Virgin Islands. I'm a mom. I am studying early childhood special education. I'm a junior, and that's basically personally about me. Why I chose Slippery Rock? Listen, the journey here was fantastic. The Global Engagement Office was terrific in ensuring that transition from being a transfer student and coming here from a different part of the world was awesome. I can't imagine myself anywhere else other than Slippery Rock. My journey, it was just like, no matter the obstacles, they were always here to support me. Being that I'm a mom, my schedule gets so crazy and hectic, and they always keep me on the right track. Like, always encourage me, always give me the right resources. So I'm,
successful in my journey. So I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else. Absolutely not.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's so sweet. Makes me feel so good about what we do here.
Oh, you should.
And I hope you all decide to come if you've not accepted yet.
You won't regret.
No, you won't.
I don't think so either. I think you'll like it here.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do is now go through a little bit of a summary of what we've talked about, and then we're going to have some kind of frequently asked questions that we're going to help answer for you, and then we'll have that chat session for you at 9 a.m. So remember, I talked about how easy it is to apply. All you have to do is submit 2 forms. Submit the acceptance form, and then submit the major form so we can confirm that you still want to choose the same major that was in your application, or you actually want to choose something different. And then pay that $90 so we can get you enrolled. Once you're enrolled, we need you to review that accepted student checklist at our website. It's going to help answer a lot of questions about what's going to happen next and then how you're going to receive that information. And then still, if you have questions, always send us emails or call us. You may want to ask us questions about connecting with professors. We can do that. Just reach out to us. Let us know what departments you're interested in connecting with. You want to maybe connect with a current student who's here on campus. Maybe ask us if there's a current student from your home country. We can try to connect you with those. What's the housing like? We'll get you connected to that housing information on the website, but as well as to the Housing and Residence Life office on campus. Is the food good? They're going to tell you those answers. I personally love the pizza. That's just me. But everything is really good. But most importantly, remember, we do these live chat sessions 3 times a week, on Tuesdays at 9 a.m., on Thursdays at 9 a.m., and then on Fridays. If those times are not good for you and you do wind up at the chat, you can always just shoot us a quick question and we'll get that in our email. So let us know how we can help you make Slippery Rock your first choice and your best choice. So now for some frequently asked questions. Okay, these aren't hard, I promise. So what do you think of the food?
We have a lot of choice in Busan.
Yeah.
In Rocky, in Western Flu.
Yeah. Do you feel like they give you some other options other than your traditional American food?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. What was some of your favorite dishes you've had?
Well, in our culture, we eat a lot of flour, like bread. So pizza and definitely breadsticks is my go-to all the time. Like, I cannot resist baked goods, pizza, breadsticks. That's me.
Okay.
My favorite food, I think, is, there is the Chinese section in Western Flu.
Yes.
I always went there.
So where they have our rice bowl dishes and some of the noodles.
Yeah, right. The fried rice.
Yeah.
Chickens.
So apart from Boozle, there is another dining hall called Wise and Flu. And what Wise and Flu does is it's made to order food, and it's more boutique restaurant-like. And they have a lot of other options that are not necessarily at the main dining hall for our students. Where's your favorite place to eat? So I think Wise and Flu is probably yours. Where do you like to eat on campus?
I go to Rockies a lot.
Okay, tell us a little bit about Rockies.
Rockies have like the best wraps ever.
I agree.
Yeah, their wraps are just like, oh my goodness.
Better than
So if you don't know what a wrap is essentially, it's like having a sandwich, but it's in a tortilla, and they wrap it, and you can have anything you want put into that wrap. So for I don't believe you lived on campus, but Menki, did you live on campus?
I live.
What was your feeling about living on campus?
The roommates, they're nice, and they have some activities in the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
As my freshman year, I lived in the residence building, and now I moved to the traditional building. Yeah.
So you've had both experiences.
Yes.
Okay. And how, when you compare the two, what can you tell us about each of those experiences?
In the residence building, they're very convenient. They have refrigerator and the microwave in each room.
Mm-hmm.
So you can bring your food and whatever you like, put in the refrigerator, share with your roommate.
Mm-hmm.
And you just share the bathroom with your own roommate, maybe one or two people.
Mm-hmm.
But a little bit expensive.
Yeah, so if you're trying to save money, go to the traditional hall.
it's still good, and just in the same floor they have 2 bathrooms. One side have each one bathroom, and shared with the people you live in your side, and the male and female are separate.
So keep that in mind. If you did want the traditional halls, you do not need to share a bathroom with the opposite gender.
Yeah.
I understand, girls. I know.
And I think they're in Rose Hall. I didn't know the
North Hall.
Yeah.
North Hall, I think, is a little different in terms of the setup.
Yeah,
Okay.
and in Rose Hall there is one microwave at the 2nd floor. The whole building people
Shares one microwave.
Yeah,
Okay.
there are no refrigeration.
So it does come at a price. So if you want less expensive, there's less amenities. But hey, sharing's okay.
Yeah.
I have 3 siblings. I share everything. I never got my own anything, but that's okay. In life, eventually you do.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit in terms of off-campus living, because at some point, some of our students will choose to live off-campus. What are our options like off-campus?
You have a lot of options when you are a traditional student. There's so many housing available for traditional students. My journey was different because I was a non-traditional student and I had to, be separate from college students because I have a family. I have young kids, so I was looking for more of a family-oriented area, and it was pretty easy. I mean, of course, with anything you have to pay the price of wanting specific things. But there's so much off-campus housing available, and to me, they're perfect. Like, they're good.
Yeah. So there's a lot of options. Some places will come fully furnished. Some will come with all the amenities included in the price. I want to say the vast majority of off-campus students are probably paying less than $600 a month, and that's with everything.
Yeah.
So depending on how many roommates you have or what your living situation may be, there's a lot of inexpensive options once you're living off-campus as well.
And there's no rules, guys. If you're off campus, you could come in when you want, go when you want, and just do what you want.
You'll get there eventually. So tell us a little bit what your classes have been like. So we're in two very different programs, education and in biology. Let's start here with biology. Tell me about science. What's that been like?
You need to take a lot of chemistry, math, physics. They are hard and challenging. But as long as you're working hard, you will figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you had some opportunities to do research with any of your faculty?
Yeah. I did the research with my professors, and I already did 2 years. This is my last year.
Okay, so 2 years of research already with faculty. And now in terms of education?
Education is very, I wouldn't say hard, because their goal is to make sure that we are exceptional teachers. So everything is on point. Like, you have to stay focused. There's no shortcutting. There's no, do this the easy way. They want to ensure that at the end of this program, you are the best teacher. Like, you're providing great education for any level of students. And word on the street is students that come from Slippery Rock, especially in education field, like, you are put at #1 because our program is so great.
And I can attest to that because my son goes to a daycare where half of his teachers were trained here at Slippery Rock. And so that was one of the reasons why I chose his daycare. So I'm very excited he is being taught by some of our former students. What are your professors like? Everybody wants to know about professors and that experience. Nice ones, not so nice ones.
All professors I met, they're nice.
They're good?
Yeah.
I have not yet met a professor that was really
Yeah.
All my professors are very nice. Like, they go above and beyond. That's like one great thing I love about my program. Like, it's more like a family. Like, if you're struggling in one area, all professors make the time to have a one-on-one and, go over stuff with you and make sure that you get it. Because again, they are training us to be exceptional teachers. So they won't allow us to struggle in one area. So they go above and beyond. It's amazing.
Same in biology major. All professors, as long as they have office hour, they have time when you're working the department. If you have any question, just go talk to them. They can help you to figure out.
So it really is true. It's a welcoming environment.
It is.
Yep.
So you told me a little bit, the classes are hard and challenging, but it's a good thing, right? Because
Yeah.
if we're not being challenged, we're not stretching our minds.
Yeah.
Right.
So Slippery Rock is a rural campus, right? So we're pretty big. It's 600 acres. Don't ask me that in hectares because I know there's a big difference. But how do you get yourselves around campus?
I will usually use the Happy Bus.
Okay, so we have a shuttle.
Yeah.
It's called the Happy Bus.
Trust me, when you catch that Happy Bus, you are happy that you don't have to walk across
That's
the
why
river.
it's called Happy
Oh
Bus.
my goodness.
Do you use, I know there's like an app. There's some type of app.
You can
Okay.
check to see where the bus is at and how long.
You've
it
never
takes to
used the app?
get the bus stop. Yes.
Oh, so you've used the app.
I've used that.
Okay, so if you have a smartphone, which I'm sure most of you do, if somebody has a flip phone, I'll be really surprised because my mother still has one.
Oh.
But on the smartphone, you can get the app. I think it's called Next Bus.
Next Bus, yeah. Mhm.
And that'll tell you when the bus is coming on campus, depending on where you're located. There are 2 different buses. There's one for on and then one for off campus. So it does go to the off-campus housing complexes, to the grocery store, and a few other places as well. Did either one of you get a driver's license since you've been here?
I didn't.
I didn't either, but the process is very easy.
Yeah, I agree.
I just didn't get the time to actually go.
Okay.
Yeah,
But the
since,
process is very easy.
yeah, since my I-20 almost done, so I think
You'll have to wait.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the reminder for our new students. When you come, we recommend you do the process for the driver's license early if you're here as a degree-seeking student, because you must have at least 12 months on the document in order for the driver's license to be issued. So again, in Menki Wang's situation, she's already near the end of her program, and now at this point she has less than 12 months left on the I-20, so they will not issue the driver's license. So maybe you're not ready in your first year, that's okay, maybe wait till the second year, but you really don't want to wait too long after that, especially if you would like to have a vehicle while you're here. You can have a car on campus if you choose to continue to live on campus. I believe the parking pass is like $25 for the year. It's very inexpensive in comparison to your urban universities. Clubs and organizations. Have we gotten involved? What kind of things have we gotten involved in?
I got involved in international dinner. International.
Oh, you're all
sorry.
involved in international dinner. Don't think that's an option.
Sorry. And the Chinese club. I'm the president of the Chinese club.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I'm in the gospel choir on campus. Last semester I was a president, but I had some family come in after the hurricanes in my country, and then I just had to take a step back so I could get everybody situated. But in the gospel choir, in National Literacy Club, that's a part of education, but you could do it if you're any kind of major, actually. We have students from different majors there. And I'm in the PSEA, which is the student version to teacher association. So there's a lot of good folks, actually.
So lots of different options if you're interested in sport. There's some sport-related clubs. There's some societies, honor societies, lots of different options. But keep in mind, you all will be part of the Internations Club when you arrive as an international student. And some of the big events for that are the International Dinner, which happens every fall semester. We've been doing it now for, oh my gosh, is it 44 years? Or this might be 45. I'm losing track. It's been a very long time, but it's one of the longest standing traditions. And so each of our students in a team will prepare a dish. So what have we prepared in the past? Have either one of you cooked?
I did. I did cook it twice, I think.
What did you make?
The first time I make the cucumber.
You can make cucumber
salad. That's very easy one. Because the freshman year, I don't know how to cook, but now.
Many of you will come here and not know how to cook. We will help you. Bring recipes from mom and grandma. We will help you through that process.
And the second time I make the spicy chicken.
Spicy chicken.
It's very delicious.
You're cooking all the time, though.
Yeah,
you're
I'm always cooking. Yeah, but it's so hard for me to actually participate in the international cooking part because our culture, we eat a lot of fish, and it's so hard to get that fish here. So I I just go and enjoy the activities and participate wherever I can outside of the cooking.
And so apart from the cooking, we also do a fashion show. So we highly recommend you bring some traditional clothing before you arrive here on campus to wear. Us here in the Office for Global Engagement will also wear some traditional clothing depending on where our travels have taken us and over the last few years. I've worn some clothes from India and from Vietnam and some other places. So please bring things with you to wear as well. What about books? I know a lot of students ask questions about, are my books going to be expensive? Where do I get my books from? What are some of your recommendations for books?
Right, rent online.
Yeah, rent online.
Yeah. I got a lot of my books this semester from Amazon rental.
Yeah, and Chegg.
Chegg and Amazon rental. Good to know. These things were not an option when I was a college student. I wouldn't have known that. So why choose Slippery Rock finally over any other university? Because remember, there are 4,500 plus schools in America, but you picked us. So why should one of these students choose us over another school?
I would say it's just like awesome. It's an awesome experience. Like I come from the Caribbean and just, experiencing the whole climate change. Like Slippery Rock is very unique in its weather and, it's a good experience. We don't have like 4 seasons. We only have summer all year round. So to experience like spring when it gets here, winter, fall, like it's just like a great experience. Now, as for the school, like you get, it's beyond your money that you pay here, your tuition. They give you a great education, great, phenomenal education. I'm speaking on my behalf. Like I feel like even though I have not completed, like I could go out into the teaching world and be successful from what I've already gotten. So I would encourage anybody to choose Slippery Rock. Like Slippery Rock is awesome. It's just awesome. To get here, the whole experience with the Global Engagement Office, they're welcoming, nature, like they're so caring. Like I can't remember a time in my journey that I was just like, oh my gosh, let me think of someplace else because Slippery Rock is not working out. Miss Genevieve have been on top. Like we had like Skype calls. We did like everything. There were times that I had to defer and put my application on hold until, I got funds and stuff. Like she was there for the entire journey. Like that's something that was great for me. Like that sealed the deal for me. That let me know that when I come here, I'm not going to be on my own. I have the support. I have everything that I would need right here. Oh, so Slippery Rock.
And Slippery Rock, I think, is the safest campus. Every time when I did the research at midnight and I went back to my dorm, nothing's happened. I guarantee it's very safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you hear this. So safe and good value. Some of the things that when I'm on the road and I'm talking to students, I'm sharing that with you at your schools. I'm sharing that, with my colleagues, and they're going out and recruiting. But you're hearing it from our students that they're telling you they feel safe, they feel supported, and they feel that they're getting a really good value for their education. So I hope by hearing from them and hearing a little bit from us here at the Office for Global Engagement, if you've not yet accepted your offer for admission, that this helps you towards that one next step into accepting the offer. And if you still have questions or unsure, please email us. And if you have already accepted and deposited and need some assistance through the journey on way to getting here to Slippery Rock, just let us know how we can help. Thank you so much for joining us here for our first International Accepted Student Day, and I look forward to welcoming you to the Rock in August. Bye.
Bye.